Dr. Parks, this is Gene, and this is my vlog for the first week of March. This week went pretty well. I did a lot of different lesson plans. This week's focuses were on introducing form in the specifically theme and variations form, which we taught through performing Mozart's theme and variations, or at least a simpler version of that, and then having them create their own variations of the same theme, which is the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star theme. So on Friday we had them present their compositions to the class and play those for a grade based on completion and making sure that they understood that the form. And then we followed that by listening to Mozart's theme and variations, which the kids actually really enjoyed. So that went well. That was with the 6th grade group. Working with the 7th grade group, we did some review of cut time and things like that. And this week was I've been fairly hands-on in that class from a individual perspective, where I will take individual students out and I'll work one-on-one with them. So I get the opportunity to do things like that. I also was able to help with some classroom assessment things in that class, so that was very helpful as well. With their 8th grade group, we've been preparing for festival, which after our discussion on Monday in class, I had a conversation with my cooperating teacher about his feelings on preparations for a festival and how he felt that they affected the students. And talking to him, I understand more of the reasons why it can be detrimental. But at the same time, we both agree that it's something that is important for the kids to get a chance to do. So we're getting really excited about getting that finished up this week, and the children are also excited about performing. We also sight read with the group this week using the STARS method, so that was really interesting to see that in application with the kids. With the Related Arts group this week, we introduced them to marimba instruments and had them performing on that, as well as talking with them about the differences between plays, musicals, and different stage performances. So they got to see a video of different stage performances, and they had to notate the difference based on things that we discussed in class. So that was cool. And then I mentioned they got to play on the marimba instruments. Some of the biggest advancements I had this week were I started playing piano with the group, which I have basic piano skills, able to play scales and chords and things like that, and but I've never had enough confidence to be able to play with the group. So this week I was able to do that on 3 days. Actually, I've been practicing a lot this week, trying to get myself more comfortable with doing that, and I was able to play with them a lot and play with some of the students on their solos when we did those on Friday. So that was a big step for me to move into a more comfortable or to become more comfortable with playing that instrument with the kids. I also did my 3 stars and a wish, which was more encouraging than I thought it would be. The classroom that I've been having the most difficulty with as far as discipline and attention, I had to make them sit down one day this week and talk to them and say, at the time I was upset because they were packing up early, and they were continually packing up early, and I asked audibly, which I probably shouldn't have done, I asked, is this something that I'm doing? And so I expected when I did my 3 stars and a wish to get some responses in that way, and actually it was quite the opposite. They were very positive. Most of the responses that I got from that class and the class afterward were very positive. There were some things that mentioned that the warm-ups were becoming redundant, which I can agree with that statement. They are redundant, but both my cooperating teacher and I find it important to start the day the same with a consistent warm-up. So he and I discussed later this week a way to create another warm-up. So that's going to be my project for next week, to create another warm-up that has multiple goals that can also just bring the students in, so that when we start class we can just start with the same thing and keep moving forward and get focused and things of that nature. So that'll be one goal for this week. Another goal for this week will be to respond to those things that I heard. Some of the things about mentioning they wish I knew, or they wish I was able to move, percussion specifically mentioned this, that I was able to move around the room and pay more attention to that instrument, and I can understand that. I felt like I've moved around the room a bit, and I've been able to pay particular attention to some groups, and I feel like sometimes that's distracting when I do walk around the room, but the kids really do enjoy that attention. So I'll make it an effort this week to make sure that I am prepared to do something with each section, and that I'm really paying attention to all of those groups. So anyway, I felt like this was a productive week. Once again, I learned a lot, and I look forward to next week. Bye.